To get the most out of Ciaccona's kit, we need to understand exactly how her kit works. First up, going over her forte bar, Musical Essence. As you can see, there are 3 different segments, and you gain 1 every time you use your basic attack 4 or your intro skill. What's cool is that there's multiple ways to get to this basic attack 4, whether it's just you tapping the basic attack button 4 times, using the heavy attack, the mid-air attack, a dodge counter, even using the resonance skill and then following up with your basic attack will lead you into the basic attack 4 and what's called solo concert. After that basic attack 4, you'll notice a ring around Ciaccona's feet. This is her solo concert, and depending on what combination of attacks you do, she actually pulls out a different instrument, which is kind of unique. And if at any time during solo concert, if you attack with Ciaccona, you dodge, basically you do anything, it actually leaves behind a Ciaccona Spectre called an Ensemble Sylph. You can have up to 2 Ensemble Sylphs on the field, and anytime you proc solo concert or there's an Ensemble Sylph, you get a 24% arrow damage bonus for the entire team. Not only does the basic attack 4 and resonance skill proc arrow erosion on the target, but since she doesn't use her pistols with these attacks, it's mainly, her microphone staff, you can actually parry a lot of attacks. Now coming back to the forte, once her bar is filled all the way up, you can actually perform heavy attack quadruple downbeat. All you have to do is hold down your basic attack button to perform the heavy attack. Ciaccona will shoot out this big musical note that will pull and target, deal arrow damage, and also inflict a stack of arrow erosion. Now moving on to the coolest part about her kit, her Resonance Liberation, Singer's Triple Cadenza. When you initially pop the skill, she'll go through her animation, deal some arrow damage, and she'll enter what's called the recital state. Now what's cool is that you can either inflict arrow erosion or spectro-frazzle if you can press the buttons on beat. Since I'm on PC, if I press my left button, it will inflict spectro-frazzle, or if I press my right button, it will inflict arrow erosion. Now the other thing that's cool when you're in this state is that you don't have to stand there and get hit by the enemy. You can actually change to a different character or use their intro skill, and Ciaccona will actually stay on field and finish out her recital. The last button you press before switching characters will continue to trigger the effect on beat until you either switch back to Ciaccona or the recital ends. Even though her kit is quite simple compared to some other characters we've had recently, let me give you a quick damage rotation guide. The main thing with her kit is to use her basic attacks and her resonance skill to build up the forte bar and inflict arrow erosion. And again, every time you complete your basic attack 4 and you do solo concert and spawn an Ensemble Sylph, the entire team gains that arrow damage bonus. Once you've used an intro skill in 2 of those attacks, or you just had to use 3 attacks to fill up the forte bar, now it's time to use that heavy attack. The last thing I would do before my concerto is all the way full is use my Resonance Liberation and then be able to proc either arrow erosion or spectro-frazzle. At this point, my concerto should be full, and I'm good to use the intro skill of my next character, mainly my main DPS character. And remember, with your outro skill, you get a 100% arrow erosion damage bonus, so that extra damage over time from it will be increased.